Iceflaw says, my landlord cut off my power and gas because I'm 4 days late on my rent payment. Is that legal? After talking to some previous tenants, I found out that the landlord also has a reputation of not giving back the security deposit when people leave, which is one of the reasons that I held back on the rent until he could provide some sort of proof that we would get it. His response was to cut off our power and gas, although he brought it back after we gave in and paid the rent. This is the first time I am renting an apartment. Alright, first of all, if you're a landlord, do not ever cut off the power. I don't know of any state where that's legal. Imagine one of those tenants was living off of an oxygen tank that was using the electricity for the house, and you cut it off. There should be some sort of punishment for not paying rent, but no one should die for not making rent. That landlord is totally messed up. I don't know what he's thinking, but at the same time, there's no way for a landlord to prove that they're going to get the security deposit back. The security deposit is for repairs that need to be made because the tenant messed something up. You are not entitled to get your security deposit back just because you're moving out of the apartment. If you mess up the apartment or the house, the landlord is definitely going to use the security deposit, a portion, if not all of it, to make repairs to the property so that it's nice for the next renter to move in. That being said, big takeaway is don't cut off the power. Go through your state-specific landlord-tenant code to figure out how it is that you can start the eviction process if it comes down to that. But honestly, like if it's not a big deal, if just, COVID or, they lost their job, if you're a landlord, then work with the tenant to, do partial payments or something. Everybody gets down on their luck sometimes, and you got to be human when you're dealing with people. That's what it comes down to. Sunflower Fields 827 says, Virtual Tours Rant. Dear Sales Realtors, stop being lazy and posting a video of the same pics on your website. I want to see every room, including the laundry, the stairs, for the basement and the upstairs, the inside of the garage, and the backyard. If it's supposed to be a virtual tour, then walk around the home as if you were a buyer. Don't swing your camera around as if you're Michael Bay. Also, don't want to get seasick on your fast pan and around a room. So, especially with COVID-19, we're dealing a lot with virtual tours, more than we were before. We take our cameras, you could use your phone, and you just walk around the property. I mean, it's not super production ready, but it does the job. It lets the prospective tenant look at the home and see everything. My advice for people on a budget is to just use your phone. It doesn't matter if it's a phone from 2002. Take a video, hold the camera kind of like this, as if you were walking through the property, touring it yourself. Make sure to go to every room and then look at everything, but don't pan around crazy, and just walk around every room and post the video. I was thinking, because I do see a lot of higher end places using a service called Matterport, and that's a 3D imaging technology. Now, so there used to be Matterport. When I first heard of Matterport was this kind of revolutionary. Like you took your panoramic shots like you do in panoramic mode on your phone, except it was this $3,000 camera, and you can have this like almost video game like walkthrough. So if you go to Matterport.com, you get their high-end one. You can get a Leica. It's only $18,000. It's super accurate. It uses 3D imaging technology. For a step down, you can use the Matterport camera. I don't know what it's called. I call it the Matterport camera. That's only $3,000 and $69 a month. But I just went on the website and I was checking it out. You can use your iPhone to take 3D images now. Sorry, Android users. You can use your iPhone, and all the way down to the 6S for free. You only get to use it for one image, or you only get to use it for one property at a time, but you can take a 3D walkthrough of your property for free using the Matterport app. I think that's pretty cool. It just shows like how far technology has come. We don't have flying cars, but we've got 3D imaging technology from your phone. That's pretty dope. Kimchi BB says, today I went under contract for my first house and will be a live-in landlord of my two friends. Ooh. They had spoken about opening a savings account to put the mortgage payments and the deposits in. I don't like this idea because then they could just reach in and take the deposit out at any time. What works best for you and your tenants? Should I open a rental account under an LLC? First of all, never ever rent to friends or family, especially if you're going to be in that close proximity where you're interacting with them every day. You became a landlord. Well, most people start a business, and if you're working with your friends on a day-to-day basis, then anything that comes up like, oh man, I can't make rent this month, or any excuses that you'll encounter with them paying you. You're going to have to do the dance of what's more important, my friendship or my money. And no one wants to be in that position. I totally agree when people say people that do this gained a business and lost 2 friendships, because that's never going to work out in the long term. If you're listening Kimchi BB, like, you should move out and put somebody else in that property. And that way it doesn't become as messy. Put a property manager in charge of the property, a barrier between you and your friendship, so that it's at least amicable if something does go wrong. That being said, if you do decide to do something like this, I will use a service called Buildium or Cozy. But even as something as simple as PayPal, just a way for them to pay you automatically, it goes into your account, that's good enough, especially if you're doing something this low-key and chill. Just have them put it in a bare minimum is send it to your PayPal account. One step up would be use something like Cozy or Buildium, which makes it more official. It gives them a tenant portal to log in and check their stuff. But I mean, if you're living with the tenant, then that's actually a little overkill. I think just a proper lease agreement and a PayPal account going to your own account is all you really need.